This is a PSA for anyone that's single that is not on a dating app. Where are you and what are you doing? What are your hobbies? Help us out. Are we doing saunas and run clubs? Like, let's just make it a communal PSA for everyone. We're done with dating apps, but we want to meet people. Put it in the comments. Where are you hanging out? What are you doing? Where do we find you?
Excuse me, I have an announcement.
Hi.
Like, I'm single and you caught my attention.
Oh, really?
Like, I tried to introduce myself, Ale.
Alyssa?
Wait, Alyssa, can I get a spin? Oh my God. You guys think we look good together?
Yeah. I think so.
What you gonna do later?
I'm gonna go to dinner.
Dinner?
Maybe keep shopping a little bit.
Alright, you can have me for dessert, so I'll text you, alright? Bye.
A lot of men are becoming lazy in dating. They're becoming lazy in the pursuit because there's no appreciation for what they do. And now women have these super high entitlement level thoughts that they deserve to be brought to freaking Bora Bora on their first date. And it's like, who are you to even ask for that? What value have you brought to that man? Women are ruining good men by acting like they deserve more than they do.
A lot of these men, to be honest, a lot of men used to lose sleep over the women in their lives or the women that they were trying to get a hold of. But unfortunately for modern women, they've acted so terribly that men don't even care anymore. You being gone is actually helping him to get back on track with his life. And I don't think a lot of modern women realize that.
If you've been wondering where are all the good men, I actually have some homework for you. Start to find and pay attention to the qualities that you love in the men who are around you. The men you know, the men you don't know, the guy at the grocery store who asks to help carry your stuff out to your car. Because when you say, where are all the good men, I already know that you are in a pattern of looking for negative qualities in men. And you're finding them. So start looking for the good men and you will find them.
What's up with men? Men don't come up and ask or talk to you anymore.
Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? The masculinity on earth has diminished drastically that guys don't even come up to you anymore. They'll just stare at you from a distance.
Y'all dug this hole for yourselves, man. Men was approaching y'all. Y'all told us stop.
They're not really terrified out here, bro. Of being labeled as a creep, being inappropriate, or like
getting embarrassed in public. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, end up viral because you are the woman out in the most respectful way. Like, right. You know what I mean? So I think men are just choosing their peace.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. You know, a lot of these guys out here, because women are upset that men have stopped approaching. Men have stopped initiating. Men have stopped chasing. Men don't court anymore. Well, they stopped initiating because all you wanted to do was be disrespectful. All you wanted to do was make it your mission in life to be silly when he tried to do that for you. No, I want to go do something else with my time.
I can tell you how many times I defended a bitch's character for her to turn around and do me dirty, especially like doing the same old to me. Like, here, I thought you were a good person. You played a really good role. You played it up. And this whole time you were really that sneaky bitch. And here I am looking like a fool because I want to see the best in people and I'm empathetic. And here I am bending over backwards for someone who wouldn't even bat an eye when it comes to doing me dirty. Like, is there any good people left? Is there anyone good left in this world? Asking for a friend.
Any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his account, that's a fucking red flag. Huh? His money is our money and my money is my money.
Let's get out the way.
I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys that weren't transparent about money and they ended up breaking up in divorces. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one.
Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
If you're dating a guy and he has never taken you to go eat sushi, noodles, and egg roll within the first month of dating, What's the sense in dating him? And I hope you're not sleeping with him. And he never took you to eat sushi, egg rolls, and noodles. I hope you're not sleeping with him.
A lot of these modern women be out here with other dudes thinking that the good man or the average man is going to be jealous of that. And really, honestly and truly, he's not. A lot of men have matured to the point to where they realize that modern women are playing games, not just one game, multiple games. They're trying to manipulate your emotions so you can do exactly what they want you to do. And men have stopped playing that game. They're tired of that crap.
And girls are so annoyed by the fact that guys don't come up to them, that like exactly what you guys are saying. They're like, it's so annoying. What's happened with the culture where like guys don't walk up to you and say something?
But would it be different if a girl kept smiling at you and you're like, oh, okay, like you could tell she's interested?
Yeah, if I felt like I had it, if I had it in, then, you know, maybe you'd be more confident going up and speaking to him.
Yeah, like if I made eye contact a few times and I can see there's a vibe there, then it's like, okay. But if I can't establish there's a little something beforehand, it's like, it's a little...
Yeah, because I think that's when the girls get more pissed, because they're like, we were making eye contact all night at a bar, and then you just like never came over, and then we left.
That's fair. That's fair.
Put some clothes on, respect yourself.
If you're a man, you shouldn't be fucking saying anything, so walk away.
What is the logic behind that?
Wait, let's leave.
Are you retarded? I'm wearing jorts and a t-shirt.
Put my hand and walk away.
Whoa, how about you put a top on?
Walk the fuck away. Does it bother you that much?
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of disgusting.
Girls are trying to grab my head.
That's crazy. All right, anyway, run, rain back, cross. Let's go, we won. Have you ever thought of putting on some clothes and respecting yourself?
Have you ever thought of starting the fuck up?
That was the least intelligent thing you could have said. If I don't dress like a...
Oh, I'm not dressed in a bikini, so I can't really talk that way.
Okay, but that's why I didn't come up to you. I came up to her.
So why are you dressed in a bikini?
Thank you.
A lot of these guys out here, man, they were doing a lot of stuff for you. But then they realized that each and every time they got close to the finish line, and all of a sudden that finish line is moving. All of a sudden that finish line doesn't exist. It was a mirage. And basically, no matter what I do, no matter what I achieve, it's not good enough for you. So instead of me just chasing you down and trying to figure out what it is that I can do, what more can I do to gain your favor and attention, I just go do something else that's worthwhile.
Yo, I don't see the point of approaching women or bagging women. There's no point unless you know. The only way you get her is if you already know she's into you.
So what if you're out somewhere and you find an attractive woman, you're not going to go up to her?
There's no point.
Why?
Because they choose. There's absolutely no point of, what do you mean how?
But how do you know you're not chosen if you don't go up to her?
You don't have to go up to her. Yo, when a woman wants what she wants, she shows you that she wants it.
Not all women do that.
All y'all looking at the camera, lie and say y'all don't. These women listen, there's dudes that don't gotta do nothing but breathe. Hey, I think you're so handsome. I think you're this. Women will come up to them. I used to be one of those guys. And then
Which one were you? Come on now, which one were you? The one that women used to come up to you?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yo.
Marry for money? No, marry for maintenance. I don't need luxury. I need load-bearing confidence. Who wants a man who calls a guy? Get the man who is the guy with a backup part in his truck just in case. Nothing says forever like a man who fixes one thing and then starts fixing other things that he noticed. Now you're freelancing? I love initiative. He doesn't guess, he measures. Twice. That's emotional maturity. Nothing hotter than a man who walks into a problem and goes, I got it. That's husband material. That's a man with tools. And not just one random screwdriver that he inherited. A collection, options, a system. He's got a toolbox that opens like a transformer. I'm talking layers. I'm talking sections. The TV is mounted. The shelf is level. And the door doesn't squeak. That's not a house. That's a stable relationship.
A lot of these modern women are filtering out men on dating apps and really honestly and truly in life for being, 5'9", even 5'11". Oh, he ain't 6 foot. He ain't over 6 foot is the bare minimum, right? But you want a man that's 6 foot or over 6 foot who treats you like trash, That doesn't make any sense. And it takes you forever to understand, dang, I probably should leave this guy alone and go with the guy who's 5'9". Well, it might be too late at that point in time.
Let me ask y'all a question, and this is going to catch you off guard. If a woman will wage war, if a woman will try and destroy her child's father, can she love her child?
Wow. Can she? She does.
If a woman will go out her way to work with a system that's going to make her child's father life impossible to be productive, can she love her child?
No.
Because we know she don't love herself, because who you got a child with is a reflection of you. If you wage war against the other parent, you can't love the child.
You know, a lot of these modern women are thinking that men are bitter. He's not really bitter, he's just more informed about what's going on. He's looking at past decisions, rearranging some things, and deciding, okay, let me figure out how best to avoid this. Because when you look at bitterness, it's more of an emotion. Anger, upset, and wanting revenge, that's more of an emotion. He's looking at you from a cost-benefit analysis. So using information to make practical decisions and say, okay, this is the type of woman that I need to avoid.
What is the negative of like women having tattoos though?
When I see a woman who has tattoos, it generally suggests to me that she makes permanent decisions off of how she feels in the moment.
Mm-hmm. If you see graffiti, it lets you know you're in a bad neighborhood.
When I see a woman with tattoos, I see that she makes illogical decisions in the moment based off of her emotions. And it's a permanent decision. Like, you can't take that away. She didn't think through that. And she doesn't have people in her life that help her think through those things. So like, that's a pretty big red flag to me.
So are not all permanent decisions made from emotion though? Like
no, not necessarily.
when you get married, which I assume that I take that as a permanent decision, you are acting out of emotion because you love this person, you align with this person. So you're making permanent
technically
decisions
speaking,
off of an emotional.
There are plenty of relationships I've been in that if I would have made the emotional decision, I'd probably be married today. But I put those emotions aside and made the, I think, right and logical decision, making the hard choice to not continue with the relationship.
Ladies, if you find yourself constantly around low effort men or dating and dealing with low effort men, it is your fault. There will always be low effort men out there. It's your standards that are setting your reality. If you're truly setting the standards you should be, you would never even be caught in the same spaces or wasting your time around those types of men because it would never even get to that point. If we're not going on a date, they will not see me. If they are not picking me up or sending me a car, they will not see me. If they are not intentional about setting a date and a time, they will not see me. Men can compliment you, slide in your DMs, all the things, be attractive, but I will never, ever, ever pull up, and you will not be pulling up here. If I have not met you before, we are not doing that. You need to understand that it is your responsibility to have a vetting process. And it is your responsibility to have zero tolerance for certain things. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting these same things dished to you because that is what you are allowing. I pretty much wear my standards on my sleeve. So honestly, a lot of guys see themselves out. When I'm around a man, I do not think twice about paying. Because if I'm going to get dogged out at the end of the day, it's not going to be on my own dime. That's for sure. Because newsflash, babe, they're all kind of bad. Low effort ones, the high effort ones. I'd rather find some out after being wined and dined.
A lot of these women want attention from a man, validation from a man, a lot of things that a man will give them. And guess what a man gets in return? He gets chaos, man. He gets, somebody nagging, somebody all down his back about stuff that don't matter. So you're telling me that for the rest of my life, I have to give you the things that you want and you don't even want to give me a portion of the things that I'm asking you for? Why would that be something that a man would want? Why would that be a deal that a man would say, yeah, I really love this. This is fantastic for me.
Okay, men, Black men especially, please answer me this. Why is it that many of y'all refuse to go to curated dating events? I'm talking about events where the vibes are already set, the ambiance is right, the music is good, the drinks are flowing. You're basically guaranteed to meet somebody who's actually interested in you and is serious about dating. You're pretty much set up to win. Conversation starters and prompts so there's no awkward silence, a bit of a structured experience, and maybe a little turn up afterward. So my question is Is it that dating events like this require a certain type of intention and vulnerability, and the patriarchy taught you that pursuing connection with effort somehow makes you less masculine or something? Because the patriarchy told y'all that you're supposed to just stumble into love and not actually prepare for it? Because we see how that's turning out. The women are doing the work. They're showing up, they're investing, they're trying something different, stepping out of their comfort zone, taking risks. Isn't risk-taking a part of masculinity too? So what is it really? Is it the event itself or the unlearning the patriarchy part?
Dating in 2026 is literally so bad, and I don't think many people realize why. Because it's actually not even the dating, it's everything else around it. Like now there's this expectation of communication all day, like texting all day, overanalyzing the tone, having each other on multiple apps. It's literally constant. Whereas like 20 years ago or something, I feel like someone would have just called you once a week or once every few days to organize a plan, and then that was that. Now it's like you talk every day. You almost have too much access to each other straight away before anything is, you know, a commitment. It's like you go from 0 to 100 straight away, knowing so much about this person, seeing so much of their life, but then nothing actually progresses. Then you add dating apps into the mix, where it feels like everyone just has so many options and there's always someone better just a swipe away. It's like people get too overwhelmed with talking to everyone that they end up talking to no one. And then social media makes it worse because you can see like what they're doing, who they follow, what they're liking. It's just like everything is too much. So you end up like overanalyzing everything for someone you're not even in a relationship with. And I feel like that's what makes it so exhausting. It's like it's non-stop.
Look, no balls, just like you. And she has you by the neck like this, and you are wondering, how did I end up here? Well, let me show you. This little guy's harmless. He just sits here, lets you pick him up, doesn't lead anything, doesn't set any boundaries, just exists and gets handled. Just like you, right? Because every single time you bent over backwards to please her, every time you've agreed just to keep the peace, and every single time you have swallowed what you really wanted to say, you got smaller. Just like him. Until you weren't her man anymore. You became her pet, her mascot, something she could manage, just like my beardy. So you need to ask yourself, when was the last time that you actually led? When was the last time you said no to her and actually meant it? When was the last time that you made a decision and actually stood on it? And the big one, when was the last time that you felt like a man in your own house? Not the pet of the house. Stop paying for peace with your freaking self-respect. Be respectful, yes, but be firm and put your damn foot down. Because if you keep acting like something that can be held by the neck, do not be shocked when you stop getting treated like a man.
Women oftentimes now are saying that chivalry is. The truth of the matter is, I don't believe that chivalry is. I experience chivalry all the time. A smile, a pleasant attitude, a thank you. All of those things send off the signals for men to say, oh, here is a woman. I should help. I should do the gentlemanly thing. But when you walk around with an attitude, with a kink in your neck, when you walk around just visibly looking unpleasant, men don't offer themselves because, frankly, why would they open themselves to that type of energy? So for the women out here who feel like, you know what, where are the days of men holding the door open for a woman? They exist. I experience them all the time. Stop looking at the entire world and saying, all of you are the problem, and come about it a bit differently. Try smiling. Try being nice. Try saying thank you. Women don't go above and beyond for thankless men either. Let's just call it what it is. Be a decent person. Be a welcoming person. Be a nice, kind person. And you'll get that energy back.
I don't know who else needs to hear this today, but leaving a marriage doesn't require your husband to be a villain. So many women come to me and say, he's not a bad guy, he loves me, but I'm miserable. And then they immediately follow it with guilt, because if he's good, then they feel like they must be the problem. Here's the truth. You can leave a good man who's a bad fit. Misalignment is enough. Loneliness inside of a marriage is enough. Carrying the emotional load alone is enough. And feeling frustrated and resentful and exhausted doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you've been over-functioning for a long time. A lot of women stay because they don't want to hurt him, and they're scared of the unknown. They've been together forever, and they just can't picture what life would look like on the other side. But staying out of guilt slowly turns into self-abandonment, and staying out of fear just delays the inevitable pain. Yours. So if you're in this place, here's a few things you could do right now. First, separate guilt from truth, because guilt just means you care. It doesn't mean you're wrong. And then second, stop asking, is he bad enough for me to want to leave? And start asking, is this a life I want to keep living? And third, get informed, not panicked. Talk to a divorce coach. Talk to a finance professional. Ask a divorce attorney the real questions. Preparation breeds confidence. And give yourself permission to choose alignment over obligation. You're not the bad guy for outgrowing a relationship. You're a human, and you're allowed to want peace and partnership and happiness.
Modern women are not wife material anymore. They're not ready for a relationship, for marriage, for kids. Like, what happened to them? And my question to that is always, are modern men ready for marriage, kids, and commitment? Because I don't think so. Why is it all the time that those men in the comments talk about women not being wife material anymore, while themselves, they sometimes cannot even be good people, let alone partners, husbands, and fathers? Like, if you want someone to contribute and sacrifice so much for the sake of marriage and kids and family, you kind of gotta match that. You gotta have the same qualities, the same contribution, the same traits that would want a woman to be together with you, and would want to have all of those things and to sacrifice everything for whatever the two of you are building. Modern women are not ready to sacrifice everything, especially their career, their social life, their mental and physical health, just for the sake of being together with a man anymore. We are not the women that used to live like 50, 60, 100 years ago. We got so many more rights and opportunities right now that we're not ready to just throw away just like that. We are capable of building so much ourselves, to build communities, build businesses, companies, build families sometimes on our own. And why would we want to be the typical wife material if we don't win anything from it? If it's not even an equal contribution to our life?
Guys, you will hit a home run if you find a woman with these green flags. Number one, emotional stability. The toxic stuff gets old. Somebody who's emotionally stable, doesn't spiral, create unnecessary drama, and can actually process her emotions and respond rather than react to something that bothers her is huge. Number two, she communicates clearly. She says what she means, and she means what she says. She tells you exactly what she wants, exactly what she needs, exactly what her standards are, and she communicates it in a way that you understand. That's the major part of it. She can articulate it in a way that you get it so that you can understand one another. Last but not least, she takes accountability. Chef's kiss. She takes accountability. She says sorry. She knows when she's wrong. She accepts it. She processes the information and makes a change so that she doesn't continue to damage the relationship. If you have found somebody that takes accountability, this woman has high emotional intelligence, and you have found a gem of a woman. Because most people blame. They blame you for everything. It's always your fault. You never get out of the doghouse. And it is not always your fault. It's that the woman does not want to take accountability for her actions or her hurting the relationship.
But my therapist taught me that there is this chemical in a man's brain called vasopressin. And basically, vasopressin is that chemical that once increased will give your husband like the need to like desire you and want to be, intimate with you, right? So I was telling my therapist that, the whole femininity thing, and I realized that a part of that is I struggle with accepting compliments from my husband. So we're on the phone, he's at the store and he's picking up barbecue sauce, and we always get like honey barbecue sauce, right? So he got one that said, like sweet brown barbecue sauce. So he says to me, oh, babe, you my sweet brown honey or something like that. You're my sweet brown sugar, right? And I was like, well, I better be. And usually when my husband gives me a compliment, I'm like, I say thanks, but I'm really shy. Like I'm always shying away. So it's either I'm shying away from accepting it or I'm just like, okay, well, I better be. So he says to me, like, see, women want compliments and this is how y'all respond. And of course I'm laughing it off, but in my mind, I'm like, you know what? You're so right. I don't know how to receive a compliment from anyone, let alone my husband. And my therapist explained that by me responding the way that I did, like, oh, I better be, what it does is it doesn't allow that vasopressin in my husband's brain to increase, allowing him to like desire me. And that's what the world knows or calls it as like the man likes to chase. That's the chemical, y'all. That is why it's so important that we are also feminine in our responses and things, because it increases that vasopressin. So talking to my therapist, you know, she's breaking things down for me. And she basically said that we are supposed to accept compliments knowing that we are a child of God. And the way that I understood it was like, if God gave you a compliment and said, hey, I think you are beautiful and amazing, would you tell God, no, I'm not? Would you tell God, oh, I better be? Probably not, right? And of course, we also got into the whole topic that growing up, I didn't really receive a lot of compliments, and that plays a part. But adding God into it and remembering that you are a child of God and being able to accept things as a child of God really did change the way that I see compliments.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore, don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance. My mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gone married. They would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer, and he was persistent. She overheard him one night saying to his buddy, he was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. He had just met her, and now they're married and they have 2 kids together. I don't hear anything like that now. Now we're praising eye contact, and now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled. That is what we're praising. It feels so backwards. And I just wonder when it shifted, because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now, because men just don't care anymore.
A lot of these modern women continue to weaponize a man's love, his feelings, quite literally anything that a man has, they weaponize it. They use it, they turn it against him, and you wonder why the man doesn't trust you. Is because a lot of times we say a man doesn't open up because a woman's going to turn that against him. And it's usually about feelings. It don't stop with feelings. A modern woman will literally take anything and everything that you care about. They'll take things that you don't care about and weaponize it and turn it against you, all in an attempt to destroy your life.